I'm Jodi Barrows. Welcome to our daily video blog. Now remember, if you have any questions or tips or hints that you would like to see on the daily video blog, then just give us an email and we'll get those made up for you. Today what I want to show you is how quickly you can do the option 1, which is the original square into square, and you just want to put the tip of the 90 of your ruler right inside the tip of your square. Now remember, every triangle unit starts out exactly like this, and what we mean by that is that you'll have a square in the middle with strips on the side, and that's the basic unit. And from the basic unit, you can trim it into any triangle unit that you're needing. And for the option 1, we just put the 90 right in the tip of that corner square, line the lines right up over the seam, and this should go right through the grid. Now I've already made 3 cuts. As you make your cuts, you need to go back and check and make sure that the outside edges of your square are staying square with the lines on the ruler. Now, they may not line up exactly with the lines. The edge of your fabric may not line up exactly with the edge of your line, but you can tell if they are straight or if they are way crooked like this. So once you start making cuts as you go around your block, it's very important to keep the block square as you go. Even if your pieces in here, your wings and this line, do not line up correctly, you've got to keep the outside edges square, and you've got to keep that 1/4 of an inch right there off of the tip. Now that's the option 1. You can do great things with color. This you will use in almost every quilt that you make. And it's amazing how just the tumbling block quilt can be made with the option 1, and there's a free pattern on our website for a Christmas tree that's made just with the option 1. Now the next one I want to show you is the flying geese. And of course you can do any color of the strips, just like I said before. I want to show you on this one how we can get 2 flying geese that are different colors from the same square. Wherever the colors touch, that corner where the colors touch, if you want those to be together in the same flying goose, then that's where you put your 90 and leave the 1/4 of an inch for these flying geese. Go to the opposite side and do the same thing. Put the 90 in there, leaving the 1/4 of an inch, making sure you're staying square, and doing this to the 2 opposite sides. Now on the other 2 sides, we want to put the 90 in, and we just want to step it over 2 lines. I call it the Texas 2-step, and you want the tip of the line on the ruler to be right into the tip of the square. That's the fabric underneath, and then once again checking to make sure that you're staying square. You want this to be nice and sharp. You do not want it to be blunted. And of course you'll do that to the opposite corner. So put the 90 in there, step it over 2 lines. You want the tip of the line to be right in the tip of the square. Keep your unit square as you go along, so your outside edges will be nice. And then wherever you've gone right up to the tip, that's your clue, your tip or your hint that that's where you slice through and cut through. So here we have 2 perfect flying geese ready to go into our quilt, 2 different colors. So if you want the colors to stick together, leave the 1/4 of an inch. If you don't want the colors to stick together, then leave the 1/4 of an inch here and see how you'd get a flying goose that way. Of course, you always have to trim, leaving the 1/4 of an inch and Texas 2-stepping no matter where you put it on the block. Hopefully this demonstration of the flying goose will help you realize how you can start working color different ways on your unit. Of course, I could have done them all 4 the same and had 2 that were exactly the same, or cut them the other way, trimming them correctly and getting 2 colors on there. I hope that makes sense to you. Now the next one I want to do is the option 4 half square triangles, and we're just going to Texas 2-step all 4 corners. So like we did on the 2 close cuts of the flying geese, that's what we're doing on all 4 corners here. And I always tell everybody there's 3 things to remember when you're doing the square and square unit, and that is that no matter what quilt you're making, no matter what color, no matter what size, everything will be made with a square in the middle and strips on the side. And then the different ways that you trim that basic square, that's how you get your triangle units, your perfect triangle units that go into your quilts. Now I've Texas 2-stepped all 4 corners. This is going to be option 4 half square triangles, and anytime you Texas 2-step those corners, that means that you're going to cut through those corners either now or later to get your units. So I just carefully line up my ruler to go all directions, and there I have 4 perfect flying geese. Of course, half square triangles. Of course, those are in just about every quilt that you make. Now the last one that I want to show you is the option 8. And to do the option 8, you leave the 1/4 of an inch on all 4 sides, and then you just go in here and cut the unit tip to tip. So we trimmed our basic block up, leaving the 1/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. Life in the studio with dogs, and we're babysitting my sisters today, so he thinks he's king of the hill. Here's our option 8s, right here. We left the 1/4 of an inch on all 4 corners, and then we just went in and cut tip to tip. Now I want to show you these great borders that you can make all from this simple option 8. And look how easy it is to turn that mitered corner and head back the other direction. So today I've showed you option 1, I've showed you option 3 and how to do special trimming on it so that you can get your colors all moved around if you're wanting to do that. And then the great option 8 that we call Dove in the Window. This is also a great accessory unit to put on the outside edges of a block. So many of you have those 5-inch charm packs that you've gotten at the quilt shops. You don't know what to do with them. Well, here you go. Do your option 8s and put them on the outside edge. And if you go to your Advancing on 2 book, there's some great charts in that book, and it's right behind the colored pictures. And in those charts, in the Advancing on 2 book, you're going to see exactly what size to cut your center square here, so that when you get them cut up here, they snap on your block exactly the way you want them to. And that's on page 45 in your Advancing on 2 book. So I hope you've enjoyed our tip today on our daily video blog. Thanks. This is Jodi. Bye-bye.